Welcome to this week's edition of K-Time Seminole Baseball Fans. I'm Scott Kotick here at Hauser Stadium. Needless to say, it's a big weekend here in Tallahassee. Number 5 NC State comes in to take on number 2 Florida State. It's a big game not only when you talk about the nation's landscape of college baseball, but in the ACC and specifically the ACC Atlantic as well. Of course, if you know a lot about college baseball, it's going to get us to our first storyline. Every single eye in the entire country will be at Hauser Friday night as Carlos Rodon takes on Luke Weaver, one of the best pitching matchups you might see in a number of years. Seems like every 2 or 3 years you get a pitching matchup like this. Just a few short years ago, it was Danny Hultzen from Virginia versus Florida State's Sean Gilmartin. Rodon and Weaver both played with each other on USA Baseball. You might look at Rodon's stats and you think, oh, the guy's 2-2. He's got about a 2.4 ERA, not off to a great start. You'd be wrong. Carlos Rodon is still as dominant as he's ever been, has really developed that slider in the offseason. Of course, Luke Weaver has looked fantastic. He's got one of the best fastballs in the country. Slider changeup have been equally as impressive. That isn't your only storyline, though, and that gets us to number 2. It's how great the other pitchers are. For how good Rodon is, Logan Jernigan for NC State might have been even better. A .73 ERA, and on the flip side for Florida State, Mike Compton threw a complete game shutout and allowed only 2 hits, struck out 10 and didn't walk anybody last week. Brandon Lebrand has been equally as good. So while the attention might be on Rodon versus Weaver on Friday night, the rest of the pitching matchup is what you need to watch because that's going to be where that series really is decided. And your third and final storyline, the pitching might be great, but we have the 2 top hitters in the ACC coming into Hauser this weekend. That's Andrew Kisner, just a freshman from the Wolfpack, and DJ Stewart, number 2 in the ACC in batting average. Both guys have been hitting the cover off the ball. They've been very good at the plate, so of course the one thing we're going to see is some good offense on display against great pitching. So if you're a college baseball fan, why wouldn't you want to tune in on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday? It might be one of the better series we see in the entire country all season. Of course, first pitch in Game 1 on Friday is scheduled for a 6 p.m. first pitch. Again, Carlos Rodon versus Luke Weaver. Make sure you stay with us here at Seminoles.com for all the complete coverage. We can't wait for this weekend. Going to be a great weekend of college baseball here in Tallahassee. Here at Hauser, I'm Scott Kotick for Seminoles.com.